porn recovery and epigenetics. First of all, what is that and how do they go together, and how can you use epigenetics to be successful in your recovery efforts? I'm Dr. Trish Lee. Let's break it down together here. First of all, I'm going to talk about how a compulsive pornography habit begins in the first place and then develops over time. Then, secondly, I'm going to share with you what recovery is and what it entails. And then, third, I'm going to talk about epigenetics, which is a field of science, metaphysics, and has transcended into healthcare, especially in the integrative medicine fields. So I'm going to talk about epigenetics, and then I'm going to relate epigenetics back to recovery and how you can use it to succeed. So without further ado, number one, let's talk about how a compulsive pornography habit begins in the first place and how it grows and develops. And in this video, I'm just going to break it down very quickly because I've made longer videos explaining it in depth, but just to reiterate it and to revisit it. So we know that there is a genetic component to addiction. So genetic meaning that there's actually genes that are passed down from our families, from our parents, familially. And I like to call it a familial predisposition instead of genes. But when it comes to epigenetics, we're actually talking about genes, so we'll call it a genetic component. And there's science that supports that. And the type of addiction is informed by what's happening in your environment as you grow up. So that is a combination of what is called nature and nurture. Nature is the way that you were born, the genetic makeup of your system, and then for me, a strong component is your baseline brain performance pattern. So our brains are very much like our parents' brains in the way that we use electrical energy. That's nature. And so I like to say that brains don't fall far from the tree. So if your parents have anxiety and depression, we know scientifically there's a genetic component to that, and you may be born with a brain that's running hot and it's using more faster electrical energy, which puts it more at risk for kind of conking out into the depression brain pattern. That's nature. But then we also know that the nurture aspect is how you use your brain across your lifetime. And so when it comes to addiction, there's a genetic component. And what happens for many people is they're introduced to a substance or a behavior kind of within the family or family friends. The way that it happens for most people when it comes to pornography addiction is that they are shown pornography at a young age. It used to be between 11 and 13 years of age. Now science is showing that it's as young as 8 years old, which don't even get me started. That's a soapbox for a different day, probably not one for this channel, but young people are exposed to pornography, and then because of the supernormal stimulus that it provides to your brain in terms of the neurochemical dump that your brain receives to seemingly feel pleasure but definitely get out of pain, it becomes a self-soothing mechanism at a very young age, and it pulls you back for more and more and more. And I've made another video talking about the habituation that happens very quickly when it comes to pornography. So basically, when you see it the first time, your brain gets this large neurochemical release and it wants more of that. It's like, that was pretty awesome. Let me go back for more of that. And when you go back for more of it, your brain is changing those levels so it needs even more. And over time, your brain will need even more and even more and even more. That is how the habit begins and how it develops and grows over time if you continue to watch with consistency and with frequency, especially with growing intensity and depending upon how much time you're putting in. So basically you're putting the supernormal stimulus into your brain and then you're habituating it so you always need more. And that's why it becomes for many people a compulsion. It becomes an act or a behavior that they have to do because their brain needs that neurochemical release just to feel good. And then it becomes very difficult to exist in the world where there is no large neurochemical release, and it creates a whole host of problems from anxiety to depression to physical problems like erectile dysfunction to relationship problems to brain fog. We won't go there in this video, but there's other videos. But there's a genetic component, which is nature, and then nurture is how you use that brain pattern over time. Okay, so nature, nurture, that's how it begins and it grows. So number 2, what does recovery entail? Recovery is recovering that authentic self of yours that is in there, the one that was there before the habit began and before it grew and developed over time. That's what recovery is. That's why every person in the whole world should want to recover that innocent version of themselves that's in there, that knows what he loves to do and just wants to go out there and do it before the world kind of came crashing down on him and he needed to find a way to self-soothe. Because we also know that when it comes to the nurture aspect of how a pornography habit develops, is that for most people there is trauma or dysfunction in there at the age when the habit started. So trauma, and science supports this, trauma is either sexual abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, or neglect. And that can exist on a large continuum from really terrible, awful things to just your kind of typical, which, typical I say in quotes, dysfunction in families that really put a child out and made him feel not comfortable and not happy and not accepted and needed to escape that family dysfunction. So that's on a huge continuum, but we know it's at the root of pornography and sexual addiction especially. Okay, so that's the nurture aspect that takes that brain pattern that was at risk in the first place and then continues to develop it. And the way out is to unwire the brain pattern that you were born with and the one that was created or perpetuated or kind of hardwired in due to the trauma and the dysfunction, and then was continually hardwired in even more over time by the habit of going back for more and more and more because of the habituation. Okay, so that's what recovery entails. Unwiring and rewiring. We need to unwire that pattern. Then you need to get on purpose in your work, in your relationships, and in your play. You need to create new routines, new habits, create new environments, because we know that the nurture aspect also includes the environment that you're in. The environment can literally be your physical environment, or it can be the dynamics in your relationship and in your family that are just like the dynamics of your family of origin, as we say in the business, the family you grew up in. So that is the nurture aspect. You might just be recreating that dysfunction that you grew up in. Many people are. I know I was blown away to realize I was creating the dysfunction of my childhood. We have 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls. Both my husband and I grew up in families of 3 boys and 3 girls. And, we thought we were the only ones who were like keeping the family legacy alive, until we realized we're keeping chaos in the system. And when I became educated on this, then I went to work on my own family dynamics and my own relationship dynamics so that I can break free from all the chains of the past, so that my husband and I could create new versions of ourselves, not the inner child, the kids that existed, me. I don't want to stay 10-year-old Trish. I want to become a more emotionally mature and intelligent and fun and relaxed version of myself, which I'm working on and I feel quite successful. But I'm very intentionally putting myself in a different environment than my childhood on a daily basis. And even though our family system of 6 kids is very similar to those that we grew up in, we've completely changed the dynamics through self-education and being able to then take action steps to make those changes, which leads us nicely to epigenetics. What is epigenetics? Epigenetics is a field of science in healthcare, especially in the fields of integrative medicine. Psychoeducation is one of those aspects. That's why I am here, because the science is showing that when you learn about this stuff, when you learn about, for lack of a better word, the junk from your past, and you learn that maybe it's not healthy for you and the people in your life, and then you learn that there's another way and that you can take action steps to create another way, you are going above your genes. You're going above the nature and the nurture of your past, and you're creating new nurture so that you can change your nature. So, what I actually mean is that when you train your brain and you control your brain, you're changing your brain. And someone put a comment, which I thought was funny, is that I have to use my brain to control my brain. That's so confusing. And that's what's called meta. It's a meta concept where it's like thinking about thinking. If you're thinking about thinking, that's meta. Using your brain to change your brain is a meta type of concept. And it is not for the faint of heart, because we know from science that meta is one of the most difficult things for people to do. And that's why some people who show up on this channel can't even fathom it mentally, never mind go to work on it. So if you're here and you're understanding the ideas and now you want to make those changes, you have just transcended into epigenetics and the meta concept of using your brain to improve your brain, to heal your brain, to become a better version of yourself, and the science is supporting it. So what does that look like? What it looks like is changing your environment, your nurture, by changing your routines, changing your habits, changing your thought processes, figuring out what your feelings are, because many times when people are sucked into a habit like this, their emotional maturity either was stunted from their childhood, and is even more so because that is a side effect of pornography use, is that frontal lobe is basically being locked in an arrested development state, which will keep you in an emotionally immature state. So you might not even be able to feel your feelings and to be able to express them and to be able to use them to learn and grow. That is part of the recovery that you can do using epigenetics to become the most awesome version of yourself. Totally possible. And it is basically, neurohacking your brain so that you can reach your full potential, to stop self-sabotaging yourself by blocking that potential by a habit that is literally shrinking your brain and creating underactivity and keeping your full potential at bay, which is why I am here to help you. So if you're down for that, and if you want some help, please go to my website at drtrishleigh.com. I have programs of all different shapes and sizes that you can join without getting to know me. Some you can join with getting to know me, but I would love to help you if any of this resonates with you, and if you're down for this journey of epigenetics to tap into your brain's full potential, to create a new version of yourself, to create the life that you know that you want and that you deserve and you can do. So let's go for that. Let's do that. Okay. And remember, control your brain or it'll control you.